Hi everyone, it's AC here. I'm gonna give you all my review of the Wiggles new documentary, Hot Potato: The Story of the Wiggles. Uh, the documentary came out this past week, um, and it's mainly about the Wiggles timeline from the last 32 years. They've been going for 32 years. Anthony, the original Blue Wiggle, is still with the Wiggle, still being the Blue Wiggle today, as well as Paul Paddock, who's been Captain Feathersword for the last 28 years, still being Captain Feathersword to new generation of kids, and yeah, so yeah, and at a timeline of 16 years of the OG Wiggles. It also has 5 years with Sam, 8 years of Emma, which Emma, Simon, and Lockie came in at the beginning of 2013. But when the Wiggles announced they were going to retire, they had Emma, Simon, and Lockie lined up, and they were the Wiggles in training. And Simon, Emma, and Lockie would sing three or four songs, during the celebration tours in 2012. So yeah, and also most recent era, the Sahai era / Fruit Salad TV Wiggles, which the Wiggles are have more diversity than they have ever been, thanks to Anthony, who creates most of the Wiggles ideas and writes some of the Wiggles songs from the last 3 decades. I give the documentary a 10 out of 10. Maybe I should say 100 out of 10, because this documentary is what I expected it to be. And it's better than the one from 2011 documentary, Everybody Clap, Everybody Sing. It talks about of the Wiggles, individual Wiggles struggles, the struggles as a band. Also about how Captain Feathersword and Dorothy the Dinosaur came to be. Who wrote the Dorothy the Dinosaur song? Who had the idea of Captain Feathersword? It also talks about breaking into the U.S. They said in the documentary, like the first ever show, one of the first shows in the U.S. in the late 90s. The audience had five people. It had two of the producers from a company, and also the produced, and then their children, obviously, which I think 2 producers, and I think one of them had 2 kids and the other one had 1 kid only. And also the OG Wiggles also mentioned how the ABC producers and all sorts of producers back in the 90s were telling them, we cringe at your videos, or just lose the dinosaur, lose Dorothy the dinosaur. Also another one. Don't do any talking. Just lip sync to songs, and just don't talk. No talking to children in front of camera. But that's what they're all about. And they said no, we'll do this ourselves. We'll do this ourselves. And that's how the Wiggles eventually produced it themselves. Paul Field managed them at that stage. The first TV series had Anthony's cousin Greg Truman writing the scripts for TV series 1, which Greg Truman would write scripts for the Wiggles DVDs, like the Wiggles movie, Space Dancing, Racing to the Rainbow. and so much more. But yeah, and some of y'all may not know this, but the Wiggles actually did a TV series in 1995 for the ABC, and that was when the Wiggles decided to say, we'll make our own TV series. We could do it ourselves, because they're basically saying, no, don't talk to children on camera. But they told them that's what we're all about. They also talk about Anthony's depression, which he's had for most of his life, and how Anthony says he's adapted and overcome with it, and they said Anthony's been doing a lot better. And Anthony's depression has helped many fans of the Wiggles, including myself, during COVID. Like Anthony's saying how to cope with it and stuff like that. I think that helped me throughout COVID 3 years ago. They also talked about Greg's orthostatic intolerance and how he left the Wiggles in 2006. And Sam coming in. Sam was thankfully in the documentary. He filled in for Greg from mid 2002, between mid 2002 to 2006. Sam would fill in for Greg a whole bunch. Especially late 2005 and mid 2006 period, he filled in a lot. And actually, also another person who filled in for Greg before he left was Brett Clark, and Brett filled in for Anthony a time or two too. And Anthony also said Ryan DeSaulnier, who was a Wiggly dancer for the Wiggles at the time, he also filled in for Greg, which I didn't even know Ryan filled in for Greg. I knew Ryan filled in for Murray in 2004 during the Wiggles Canada tour at that time. Also, and also the Wiggles also talked about Jeff's and all the Wiggles, past and present, contributed, did a great job explaining everything of how the Wiggles started, etc., etc. And I'm gonna tell y'all some things that I wish would have been in the documentary. And I think you all maybe feel disappointed on those stuff, on what they could have talked about, and what they should have talked about, or what they could have who could have been on there too. So yeah, and I cannot believe the Wiggles didn't talk about how Wags the Dog came in, or Henry the Octopus came in. They mentioned about them very briefly. They didn't say, oh, how Henry the Octopus came in, or how Wags the Dog came in. And so yeah, and also I was kind of hoping for I was hoping for some of their former choreographers would be part of the documentary, because Leanne Halloran and Leanne Ashley, those were the OG Wiggles choreographers during the OG Wiggles years, and Leanne Halloran was the choreographer from 1995 till 2000. Then the end of 2000, Leanne Ashley was her choreographer from late 2000 till 2007, right after Sam came in. So yeah, I was kind of really hoping that maybe Leanne Halloran would have been in the part of the documentary too, because she worked with the Wiggles during in a couple of the OG Wiggles reunion shows in the past. She played Officer Beebles in both the Bushfire Relief shows of the OG Wiggles. So yeah, I'm really surprised she wasn't in it. John Field, Anthony's brother John, I was really surprised he wasn't even part of the documentary, because he wrote most of the OG Wiggles popular hits. he wrote a lot of them. He wrote Rockin' Santa and Rocked by a Bear. He wrote Dorothy the Dinosaur. He wrote a lot of those classic Wiggles hits over the years. Yep, and also I was really surprised surprised that Don Lindsay, the Wiggles trumpet player since 1996. I'm surprised that Dom was not part of was not in the documentary at all, because Dom Lindsay has been the Wiggles trumpet player since 1996, the Wake Up Jeff CD, and he first appeared with them on the Wake Up Jeff DVD as well. I was also hoping they would talk about the Manzellas, the backing vocal tracks, which I know for a fact that three out of the three Manzellas were in the documentary. Obviously Sam, Simon, and Paul Paddock, who's Captain Feathersword. Those three men were the Manzellas, but I was really disappointed that the Anthony or none of the other original Wiggles talked about the Manzellas. I also couldn't believe they didn't talk about the Taiwanese Wiggles and the Latin American Wiggles. So yeah, and also and some Wiggles fans I've talked to over the last week, they were disappointed that Sam didn't fully go on his side of why Sam left and how he react to it. But yeah, but my reason for that is I think it's probably because they told Sam not to talk about on his terms, or maybe they filmed it and they ended up not being the final cut. I think they might have filmed Sam explain why he left in 2012. Maybe the producers, Frazier, Grutt, and Sally, told Sam Sam not to talk about it. Maybe they cut it out in the last second, but yeah. Overall, it was a pretty good documentary, and comment down below and tell me what your favorite part of the documentary was. Thank you all for enjoying the video, and keep going growing. Happy wiggling. See you guys.